And we were going to kick things off on Friday with an optional trip for our exhibitors and anybody else who'd like to go along to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up in Cleveland. A lot of the people who bring the cars in for the weekend come in for the weekend. So we're going to get a chance to expose this property to some people from all around the United States, some of whom have never been here before, some of who've heard of it, but this is our chance for that weekend to be the focal point for a lot of high-end car collectors. So Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is going to be our first stop event. Friday night, after everybody gets back, or the folks who go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame get back, we'll have what we call a welcome party out on the West Terrace for them. Sorry about that. And you're invited to attend that. Our weekend, we do something called a countryside tour. And if that looks like fun, it is. This is the only event that's open just to the exhibitors, but the folks who bring the cars in have the option of taking those cars out on Saturday morning for about 5-6 hours on a tour. Typically we do about an 80 or 90 mile an hour tour. 90 miles. Well, some of those cars can do 80 or 90 miles an hour. Not mine, but actually that one could do 90 miles an hour. That's a 1920 Mercer. But we do about an 80-90 mile tour and through the countryside, and believe it or not, a lot of the folks who own these cars like to drive them. And we get a lot of, some of them are characters like these two, but they traditionally have driven 7-figure cars on tours, brought them back, wiped them off, and put them on the show field on Sunday. And to me, that's the best combination of owning a great car. Is not just what's it like going on and off a trailer, but what's it like going down the road under its own power. On Saturday, and this is where Linda and her staff come in, Linda picked up on the fact that in addition to a motoring tour on Saturday, Linda would like to do, her staff are going to do, for lack of a better term, I call it a high tea. It's pretty accurate, and it's going to be like a super high tea because it's going to be held in the Manor House. It's going to include vintage fashion. It's going to include a trip into the gardens, and I know my wife and a lot of the wives of the fellow car owners I know are going to be very excited about that. That's a real plus for the wives. Believe it or not all the wives really enjoy blasting down the road in the car at 60 miles an hour for 4 hours. So this is a real bonus for them, the high tea. On Saturday afternoon, when everybody gets back, we're going to have. Anybody recognize this guy? Okay, good. We got some network cable TV people here. That's Wayne Carini from Chasing Classic Cars. Wayne and I go back a few years, and as you guys can probably guess who's seen him on TV, Wayne's pretty down home. And he's a mechanic who became a celebrity chasing classic cars on TV. And he loves coming to events like this. Wayne is going to be with us. And I guarantee anybody who meets him will enjoy talking to him. But don't tell him what's in your garage because you'll end up owning it. Saturday night, we're going to have a special dinner. And I wanted to call this a gala dinner, but I was advised by Gail Marie and Linda that name was already taken. So Gail Marie came up with L'Affaire d'Elegance. How's that? Pretty good. I like that. So we are going to have a cocktail party and a dinner at the Portage Country Club. And that will be, again, open to the public. I expect most of our exhibitors will be there, our out-of-town sponsors, VIPs, and I certainly hope you will be there. Sunday, it's showtime. And as Linda said, on Sunday you will see cars that you typically aren't going to see in Northeast Ohio. Here's an example. This is anybody know what that is? I love doing this. This is the first Lincoln Continental. The first one. It's actually a prototype. And as you know, prototypes are typically crushed. Well, this one was almost crushed. It was basically, the designer took it home to Grosse Ile, Michigan and parked it in the garage and it just about rotted away. But a collector, a masochist, a friend collector of mine, bought it and brought it and truly brought it back from the dead, and now it still exists. And this is the first car, the prototype that Edsel Ford basically designed, standing up with his designer one day and said, do this, do that, and go over there and build it. It's great to have money. And Edsel had the car built, shipped it down to Hope Sound, Florida, and his friends looked at it and said, Edsel, you ought to build those. And so they did. And those are the kind of cars we're going to have.